Drop it on the random.
What up, y'all? I am your host, Vegas, and this is One2FlowOn. The topic today is comebacks. Now, I was reading an article, shout out to hotnewhiphop.com, but I was reading an article about them talking about whether or not Eminem had another comeback in him, or more importantly, the fact that he needed at least one more comeback. And you know, before I even read it, I was thinking like, true, that I agree with that. But then part of me was also thinking like, why? You know, so I read it, and you know, it was a good article, and it, you know, not to spoil it, you can go check it out yourself. But to summarize it, basically talked about, you know, Eminem's current album, how his hardcore fans felt, how you know, the only way really for them to feel, you know, good about him, you know, at this stage of his career is for him to at least drop another album that's considered a comeback. Citing Rap God as the last time you really felt Eminem could still rhyme like that. That's basically how I felt, but it made me think about not just Eminem. It made me think about like Nas and the Nasir project. You know, it wasn't that album was complete garbage. It was the fact that it was the first time we ever heard Nas not rhyme well. I've said this in the past. I feel like Nostradamus is his worst album, hands down. But I never felt like as an MC he was bad on there. You know, I felt like he was cool, but I felt like the tracks were terrible, and so was the hooks. Therefore, you got a terrible album. But I always felt like his flow was still there, the cadence was still there, the lines were still there. It just wasn't interesting from a song standpoint or album standpoint. But Nasir is a whole nother animal. I like the whole, you know, conscious police brutality, you know, young black males approach to it, but poorly executed lyrically. I don't feel like the beats made the rhymes whack, because I can hear that the rhymes just aren't on point like we're accustomed to. It's the same thing with Eminem. He tried to do a more political, conscious album this time around, laced with beats that sound like they're ready for pop charts. You know, not goofy pop charts, but more so, you know, like when pop records try to get serious. You know, and they sound like songs on a movie soundtrack. Sounds like he was rapping over a lot of those type of beats. And just like with Nas, his flow just didn't fit it, and he had to kind of adapt the flow to it that was uncharacteristic of Eminem and Slim Shady. Now, that being said, that's just me as a hardcore fan of Nas and Eminem talking. But as an artist, I can see why they wanted to go that route and do something different, because anyone who's a real artist wants to do different things. Anybody who just raps the same way all the time, it's not necessarily bad, but I don't really consider them artists, because of the simple fact that they just like to rap, and they rap, and that's fine, you know, because sometimes that's all I want to hear also. Same thing with beat makers versus producers. Beat makers just make the beat and they're done with it. They're not going to make any adjustments to the beat unless something is wrong. Generally, if they finish a beat and they give it to somebody, that's it. You know, that's a beat maker. A producer is someone who not only makes a beat, but when it's time to make a record, not only will they craft the record around the lyrics of the song, but they'll also work with the artist to get the best out of the whole song. A lot of guys don't do that. Now, does it make you any less of a, you know, a producer if you don't actually produce the song? In some ways, yeah. It makes you a beat maker. You know what I'm saying? You make beats, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no one way to say, you know, this is better than this. Rap, you know, a dude that just raps or just rhymes isn't better than a dude that wants to make songs and stuff like that. It's just the impact. Now, if you're a beat maker or you just write rhymes and you want your impact to be greater, then you gotta do more. You gotta do things differently. Sometimes you can achieve that in one sitting. You got a dope beat, somebody got dope lyrics, put them together, you don't have to do nothing. But that ain't every song, that ain't every time. Don't let anybody fool you. But that's how I feel like with Eminem and Nas. Like, they need at least that one album. I think Jay-Z got it with 444. I feel like for a long time, Jay-Z was chasing a certain style and different. He was kind of on this art kick and, was trying to get some of them Run the Jewels type beats in some cases and really do something different and bigger. And with 444, he just kind of came back home and was just like, yo, this is me, this is my family, this is what I'm going to rap about. These are the beats I want, nothing, no special effects. It's just all about this vibe and this feeling and this mission and my lyrics and my album. And I dug it. But Nas has probably done that several times over. So he's looking for inspiration. Maybe he hasn't now that people didn't really like this album. And Eminem, I don't know how he feels about it. For Eminem, financially, this hasn't done well compared. It's done better than most, but it hasn't done well for him as far as his track record. And he can't like the fact that people feel like he kind of fell off. When it wasn't that long ago when Rap God was out and he did that BET freestyle with Royce in the back, where we were like, yo, Eminem's still nice. So I don't know. How do you feel? Do you feel like they need a comeback? Did you enjoy the Nasir album or Eminem's last album? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Me personally, I wasn't too happy with both. The Eminem album I will never listen to again because I just really thought it was boring and corny. Not the messages, just the execution. And the Nasir album I like some records, but it's just not something that I'm gonna find myself listening to on a frequent basis. So I do believe they both need that one comeback album that services the hardcore fans, that reminds people of why they have the name they do. And I think they both are capable of doing that. So until next time, y'all, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and share this content with people enjoy hip-hop music and culture. Peace.
Drop it on the random.